Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a
Hello,
good one.
everybody. Hello, hello.
Oh, how's
I
everybody
have
doing
my
today?
stream
Hopefully, everyone's
live on
having a
the
good. Hold on a second, guys. Wait, why can't I hear myself? Hold on a second, guys. I can hear myself through Brandon. Hold on.
Mute Brandon.
You heard what?
I heard myself through you, I think.
Oh, because I turned on the stream and then
Oh, okay.
I had to turn off the sound.
That's okay. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing today? That stream was one huge bummer. What happened? Which stream? The echo? Yeah, we fixed it. It's gone. We figured it out what it was. How are you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing great. Sunday, feeling good.
Oh hell yeah, Brandon. Also, we've all noticed your new setup.
You like the new setup?
Yeah.
This is
that
the
looks good.
2021 streaming setup. This is the first time anybody's seeing it
Oh,
live
really?
on Alex. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So are you
I
gonna
like
be
the white lighting in the background. It's like
Keebcast.
tiered.
Yeah, so that's a new addition. And then we got the poster. We got the display poster.
Oh yeah.
We got I put a new light strip along
Oh,
the
thank you, dude.
stand back there. So
Oh hell yeah,
you
dude.
know,
It
trying to
looks
spice it up
good.
for 2021.
I feel like having a nice cozy streaming room's like the first move, you know. Premiere content always.
You have to.
Brandon talked about this at one point, I think. Like I think he had mentioned it last stream that he was working on a streaming setup or something new, and I guess here it is. So that looks great. That's one thing I want to do. I love having the computer in like the frame too, but I have no room for it on my end here. I have no room. It's just well, I got food here now, but like candies and stuff, which I can probably do without. But Chase and Space Cables, how are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing, Chase?
I'm doing fantastic. It is a great day. It's been a pretty good week. And as we were saying earlier, this has been the longest month of my life. January of 2021 has moved beyond slow. After like last year, that seemed like it flew by because like it was March and then all of a sudden it was December. Like this last month has been so slow for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
and I could be the only one experiencing that, but
yeah, no, I definitely feel you there. It literally feels like, well, even December feels like it just flew by, and I feel like December wasn't that bad of a month. But I mean, here in Toronto, the cases for COVID have just like tripled. So, well, more than tripled. It's like that's 6,000 or something a day for Ontario, which is crazy.
Really, I thought you guys were better than us. What's going on?
No, I'll be honest. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Like, are you guys required to wear masks and stuff like that?
So we are, and like, there's also like this impromptu lockdown and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. There's nothing like government official that I know of here in Toronto, other than, you know, like a red phase of lockdown or something. But like, I had to go and pick up like food, for example, and there's people lined up to go wash their cars. So it's just really confusing at this point here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
How about you guys in chat? How's your areas for lockdown and all that? We just Canada have anti-maskers? Yeah, we have those too.
Yeah, do you guys have like Canadian Karens? Like,
we do. We have lots of them. They exist,
Karen
especially
with a C.
Yeah, Karens with a C for Canada. You know. And I saw some of you guys talking about the Gloria stuff. We'll talk about that here in a bit. But Brandon, what have you been up to in the keyboard world lately?
You know, I'm making controversial reviews.
Oh no.
We'll get into that maybe later. I don't know.
Sure.
Not yet. We'll start off with the good stuff.
Start off strong, you know.
So I have a lot of keyboards coming in. I probably have about 7 or 8 keyboards that I haven't built yet, and more on the way that are in shipment right now. And so I need to like get it moving. So probably within the next, like, I'm hoping the end of this month, going into February, doing like maybe 1 to 2 builds a week. So yeah.
Are those going to be live streamed on Twitch?
Yeah, so I'm going to do some live streams and then turn that over and then make some like videos of them as well.
For sure.
Like I went for a long time. I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes like when I build a keyboard that I really like, I don't really feel the need to build another keyboard. Just like selfishly, I'm like, you know, like I'm happy with this and I want to kind of enjoy this keyboard for now, because I feel like once I built the next one, I'm just going to like use that one. So I've been taking my time, just like enjoying the keyboards that I have, like slowing down towards the end of the year, and just like being like, like that was a great keyboard. So
Yeah, totally.
pretty much what I've been doing for like keyboard stuff. Trying out new switches and my hot swap boards. So yeah.
So out of those 7 or 8, do you have any specific? Like, is there one specific that you're really excited for?
Probably I think the one I'm most looking forward to is probably like the Dollinger, the Linworks.
Oh
Dollinger.
yes, do you have a polycarbonate one?
Yeah. So I have the
Ooh.
polycarbonate one, and I'm really looking. I don't know why, but I got it. And I took it out, and I was like, man, I really want to build this, but Alex, as you know, like you can't just build it. You have to make content out of it. So
Yeah.
so it's like that's kind of the life of the creator. Like you never get to like build stuff for yourself. It's more of like to share.
Everything's content.
Yeah, everything is content. So I know, and like people want to see that, and I want to share that with the community as well. So
Yeah, man, you need to stream.
yeah.
Well,
So that's always
the-
the struggle, is like finding
Yeah.
time to stream, and like
Well, there's also the flip side of that too, because you're right that everything is kind of content in a way, but I think there's also that, as content creators, there's also that like that pride and joy you get of
Yeah.
taking something and making something more out of something that's already a piece of art, especially like custom keyboards. Filming, you do excellent B-roll, excellent content on YouTube, so taking that and then adding to it is just fun, and it shows people a
Yeah.
different side of the board and the keyboard. Any tech product really that you look at, or any product really that you look at. BT with the light show, I know he definitely has a nice light show in the background. He has some RGB going on for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about my KBD 67 Mark II. Hell yeah, Minty. Got to tell BT to do the Teja method, half week rotations. Yeah. There's definitely like, dude, I feel like I've been streaming a lot. So, BT.
You've been killing it.
Oh, I know. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. BT, what switches have you got in the works? What are you going to be putting in these keyboards?
So the Dollinger, I heard you got these too. I'm not sure, but I really like the Penguin switches.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah.
So I got those. I'm gonna be putting those into the Dollinger. I haven't gone like tactile. I actually just tried. I wrote a tweet about this. Like I went back to tactiles recently after being on Lineage for like months and months.
Yeah.
I went back to Holy Pandas, and I was like, I forgot how good
Yeah.
tactiles can be. And it's like, so I'm excited to like try some good tactiles again, on a new board. So
Yeah,
I have a lot of tactiles.
The one thing about penguins though is, I'm sure you read the notice on the website there too, and I'm pretty sure maybe someone's told you, is they need to be modded. Like they need to be lubed. So
yeah.
They feel a little weird if you don't, but they're great. Like I was actually and usually I'm not too into like lighter tactile switches or lighter amounts of tactility, but they were really nice. They felt, and they looked really pretty too.
Yeah, I was impressed with them because I lubed. That was one of the sets that I lubed already.
Yeah.
So I just want to build my Dollinger, and I was just so impressed already with how they felt after I lubed them, and yeah, so I'm excited to try them out like on an actual board. Hopefully, I don't have to desolder them. So.
Dude, desoldering is a pain in the butt. Trust me.
I know, it really is.
It's crazy. So someone wants to know, have you had any chance to play with the Portico?
So no, I have not tried the Portico yet. Did you do a stream on that?
I did. So mine was, so I guess all the pre-production units don't have some embossed or some sort of weight at the bottom. So one thing that I want to tell everyone too is, take all the pre-reviews is like with a grain of salt, because I'm not sure if that weight or that extra piece that they plan on doing on the bottom, because right now it's just a sticker, I'm not sure if that'll affect anything. But it was pretty good. Like I didn't mind it. I liked it a lot.
Because I assume you tried the NK65, right?
I have not actually, but I have tons of friends who have. So
I haven't either. I'm kind of curious how they kind of compare. Like I want to know how like the Kara, the Portico, and like all these other like these kind of entry level keyboards, how they all compare.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm kind of interested in.
Whose Discord is that we're hearing?
you, dude.
I don't even know, Chozo. It's okay. You keep hearing pings?
Is there a ping? It might be mine.
I think it's BT, man.
Oh, I have open back headphones. I'm sorry, guys. I should have worked.
It's okay.
Hold on, let me turn it off.
That would be a really cool video potentially at some point for somebody to put out the Kara, the NK65, the Portico.
I mean, like I have the
Hopefully-
comparison against the Kara and the Portico, but it's very hard to compare the two. Like one's an HHKB style, and then I just feel like they're two very different keyboards. And
Yeah, there
they're
is. I
meant
mean,
for-
$50 price point difference
Yeah.
is fairly significant, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
at that range, it is.
yeah, it's a little bit. It's definitely a little bit tough. Someone wants to know: did you get your Rama board yet? I'm assuming the M65B.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Like currently, people are like, "Oh, did you get like the U80 or did you get the car?" I'm like, "No, I'm boycotting Rama right now because I still haven't got my M65B."
As far as
I
I know,
ordered
they
it-
should be shipping out in like the next 30 days, hopefully.
Yeah, I ordered it in October of 2019. All right.
Has it been that long already?
I ordered it in 2019. All right. I still haven't gotten it. That was supposed to be like I bought that around the same time as my Iron 165, and I remember like thinking like, oh yeah, like that one's probably gonna be my first board because I bought it before the Iron 165, and now
Yeah.
I've had the Iron 165 for like months now. So
How you liking the Iron 165?
I love it. I love it still. Still one of my favorite boards. It's like the board that like I think everybody when they like see it or when people come over and I show them my keyboards, it's like one of the favorites when people look at it. So,
Yeah, it's a nice looking board for sure.
Yeah.
And then a few people, I guess we'll talk about it. Did you happen to watch the Glorious? And are you going to be trying, or can you talk about the Glorious GMMK Pro?
So I haven't tried it yet. They're supposed to be sending it to me soon. I don't know where it is. I don't know why they haven't sent it yet, but yeah, I'm excited to try it. I saw the stream. To be honest, like me personally, it seemed underwhelming on stream so far. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that like once I get it, that I can I can because seeing something and then like testing yourself is like two different things. But I
Yeah,
don't know
totally.
if it was just like it just didn't seem like the launch or it just didn't seem that hype
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Like it didn't I didn't get that feeling of like I need this keyboard. I didn't have that excitement.
I don't think they had like the means to show it off correctly in that stream. It seemed like they didn't.
Yeah.
Like they needed different camera angles. They needed. I mean, it looked like since they were doing things remotely too, they were kind of like at the discretion of the people building it. Like they needed better audio equipment to show off. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. They
Yeah,
didn't
they
have
did.
the means to show it off properly. Is what it really seemed like.
Yeah. I think and so that's why I felt like underwhelmed.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that's the
Like,
perfect word for that.
you know?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see the stream, so I'll take you all's word for it.
It just
Yeah.
didn't tell you anything new about it. It was they
exactly.
kind of showed the process of building it, which was nice to see, but like you didn't learn anything new or like it didn't teach you anything. Like if you had any questions about it, it didn't really answer any of them. Sadly.
I think the
Yeah.
one thing though that I wish didn't come from that was the hateful comments towards the people doing it.
I heard about the toxicity.
Yeah,
that was-
there was some toxic bullshit that happened, and quite frankly, I was a little bit disappointed in seeing that. That was disappointing. You have to remember that, guys, sometimes things don't always happen. The most we can do is we can constructively go like, hey, this could have been better. Here are some ways that maybe as a community we thought it would be better. But I don't think there's any I don't think people need to be name calling or anything like that. That definitely does not need to happen, and that's what was happening, unfortunately.
Yeah. I
So-
feel like that's just like that's like the sad part of it is like
Yeah.
some parts of the keyboard community are still toxic and there's still that like gatekeeping that goes on, like they know better or they would do it, they themselves would even do a better job
Yeah.
than, like whatever person but it's like where's your stream, where's your setup, like kind of thing, like do you do any better, like you don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, Quinn, I saw some people in other Discords being pretty toxic in the keyboard hobby. So I mean, there's definitely people inside of our own community, whether they were
Yeah.
part of the keyboard community or not. It's a bad look,
Well, and to be fair, I think with that stream, there is going to be people within the community hating no matter what, because there is this disdain for Glorious to an extent for
Yeah.
some reason. I don't share that. I understand there are some people who don't care for them because of recent moves, specifically with like the Panda switches that left a bad taste in people's mouths. And then I don't know. I'm excited for what they're doing. I'm excited for that keyboard. I think it'll be great for the price. I don't know. We'll see.
Request if you
Yeah,
guys
I
wanna
agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's if they can pull it off, it's going to be like a game-changing keyboard, I think, and I think that's why it's so looked at and why it's so kind of harshly judged too, is like there's that aspect of like there's so much promise with this keyboard, and it almost like has to deliver,
Yeah.
especially since, like you said, like the whole like Glorious Panda thing. It's like now it's like, all right, now you guys are trying to get into keyboards, like the mechanical keyboard space, and make like a a custom keyboard. Like it has to be like up to par, or else they're just looking for a reason already, like you said.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree
to
with
hate
that.
on Glorious. So
Yep, I very
Yeah.
much agree
Well,
with that.
in any way, it's
And CR Dub asked, "What's wrong with the Panda switches?" I thought they felt great. I wasn't saying anything wrong with the switches themselves. I think there was a lot of controversy with the rollout of the product itself because they were calling them the Glorious Holy Pandas, and a lot of people in the community threw up the pitchforks as soon as that showed its face. So there was just a lot of drama with the launch of the product, not the product itself being bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I it's hard because like you want to also reinforce the idea that we should be constructive, but then I always feel like it starts off that way and then ends up kind of slowly going down this slope of just like not being constructive anymore, just criticism, and then that leads to more negative stuff. So it's tough,
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw somebody in the chat said like they should have picked somebody else to do it. And like to a certain degree, I kind of agree, just because of the backlash that could happen.
Yeah.
You have an up and coming like keyboard person in like Switch and Click, and then like you're pretty much setting her up to like take in like all the criticism from your keyboard, right? Like
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like if they had Alex do it, it's, I don't know if it's because like Alex would be more critical of it. I'm not really too sure of like, why that is, but I feel like sometimes the people that have been in the space for a little bit can handle that kind of heat a little bit more, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say, but it's like if you pick somebody like Alex or Teja, right? You guys probably get heat before and people trust you, so people, I don't know how to explain it, like they're gonna come after you, but it's not gonna be as harsh, right?
Well,
Especially
and
with somebody that's up
Yeah.
and coming.
Yeah.
they also have a community that will kind of drown out that hate,
Yes,
I guess.
Yes, exactly.
That helps a lot too.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah, it's tough. And like I think the thing that I want to remind everyone with this conversation is we can have like, I think this was constructive, a very constructive conversation. And I think that's kind of where things should lead more often, so take it for what it is. But I think that's like the biggest thing. It's like there's no need to go and just start name calling and throwing up pitchforks.
Yeah.
That's not going to solve anything. You're just getting mad. I mean, again, I do that too with certain things, and it's just weird feeling. Like you look back and you're like, oh shit, that shouldn't have been me. It reminds me of when Apple came out with the MacBook. The product wasn't very hardcore pros. I mean, the thing is, Apple sells because Apple. It's a brand. So I think,
what do you guys think about it? Like, do you think that that was like a bad choice on their part, or was it like how do you guys feel?
I think the stream was just, it should have been done if it was targeted towards custom keyboard and like enthusiast or even entry level stuff. It should have been done like everything else, maybe where they had gotten someone more attuned to live streams.
Yeah.
I think maybe Switch and Click probably would have been better for a YouTube video where it was sat down and she could have thought of the content thoroughly. Because I'm not the best at YouTube videos, but I think maybe for a live streamer who's more used to kind of questions on the fly or things that happen on the fly, there's definitely that attunement to, hey, I like doing live streams more than I like doing YouTube content. So I definitely think there should have been something like that. There should have been some thought put into that too.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
And I also think this should have been done way before the sales too. Like I think this should have been done before people spent their money.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing. So when you're showing a product and you're like, oh yeah, we've already sold them and now we're going to show you what you bought, it's kind of weird feeling. That was my biggest takeaway from it. And I feel
Yeah.
like like I said, it should have been done way before.
I see.
It reminds me of the Verge PC. I mean, to be honest, I don't think anything was as bad as the Verge PC build station. I mean, like, for that, like, you know, this is a live stream. Sure, something could happen and you roll with it. That was like a piece of content that was like looked at, reviewed, and then upload it to YouTube and then promote it. That wasn't like it was changed or something. That's how they looked at that and they said, this is
I'm
good
not
to put on
familiar with
YouTube.
this. What is this you're talking about?
So the Verge PC, Brandon, do you remember this? The Verge
Yeah,
PC?
of course,
Of course, right? So the Verge PC video was Verge put out this how to build your PC for like new beginners. And just about every other thing was wrong about this thing. It was just bad. Like it didn't really make much sense. And it didn't, man, I don't even know. You need to watch it. I don't even think you can watch anymore. I think it's been taken down.
Oh, there's probably a re-upload somewhere if
Somewhere.
it's that bad.
Somewhere.
I can probably find it if it's that
You should
bad.
watch Bitwit's reaction to that. Bitwit's reaction was hilarious.
Okay, I'll add this to the queue of things to watch.
Yeah, you need to watch it. It's just something else. Like, I'm sure everyone in chat can attest to that.
There's
So
a
they-
ton of drama with that, like way back. Like,
Oh yeah, there was tons.
So was
of
it
stuff
just a
with
lot
that.
of misinformation and just like not well researched topics? Is that basically what it ended up being?
Very much so.
Yikes. Okay.
Very much so.
Oof.
Well, and
Well-
I don't feel like this stream was anywhere near like that bad. It just felt like it didn't have too much of a plan. They had two different people showing off the two different options of the keyboard, and the production value felt low. Not that the production value needed to be a certain standard or anything. It's just like I've seen Glorious do some pretty cool stuff. So
Yeah, they were trying to present themselves as an authority when it was obvious they had no idea what they're talking about. Yeah, it's just definitely kind of weird. They built it, then left out the best parts of the. I mean, for what, the sound test for what, the PC Minty Boy? Or are you talking about Glorious? But yeah, that's basically it. So Brandon, what else have you been working on these days? It's been a little while.
so recently, let's see, we got some merch coming. So I've been working on merch.
Hell yeah.
Got Deathmat coming. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, and just honestly, just trying to like catch up on a lot of the things from last year that I didn't get done. Still, so that's what January has been about. Is like looking through things, trying to figure out, you know, what's good and what's not. Like I have a full like closet full of like products that I just never even got to look at.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like going through that and like looking, okay, is this good? Is this not good? Like letting the companies know, like, hey, it's not gonna make it to the channel most likely. So, you know, that's what this year has really been about. And also, yeah, just building. So this year, I want more balance, like just like life balance, because like I think last year, I don't know about you guys, but I really burnt out last year because I was trying to put like 3 videos a week. You know, we had
Jeez.
COVID stuff coming out. COVID stuff going on, had work and all the other stuff. I moved. So there's a lot of like stress from last year that like, you know, people don't see that on camera. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
like, where's the video? Or why isn't there a video out? Or so I've been slowly getting back into like to like you know, doing like making videos and like making videos that I like. Because like a lot of the times like things are rushed at you, like, hey, we have an embargo this day, we need it done. But this year I've just made it a point to be like, nah, like I'm gonna test the product thoroughly and just release it when I'm ready to release it. And like I've just like mentally been like so much better this year. So I'm just gonna keep that formula throughout the whole year, like not rush content, not rush anything, and just do it as it comes, you know.
I think that's the best way too. Like you're obviously like probably gonna enjoy it way more too.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I've just I've just gotten back into like focusing on like cool shots and like, you know, upping like my B-roll, my
Yeah.
A-roll, and like people have been noticing,
Quality.
Yeah.
you know,
Quality over quantity.
yes, exactly. And like people have been noticing and like, you know, giving good feedback. So I think it's working.
So what would you
Nice.
say? What would you recommend? Because we had actually, I think it was, I was on a stream yesterday night where we talked a bit about creator burnout.
Mhm.
What would you say is like something to combat that? What would you say something that maybe a mistake you made, maybe getting burnt out? Was it just because of overwork?
Yeah, so I think it's just taking too much on. I I think we want to do it all. We want to, like, as creators, like, we want to take every opportunity. We want to say yes, and especially if you're new or like you're getting all these new opportunities, you tend to be like yes, 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 yes. So just saying no more often and being realistic with your time. I think that's a big thing is with burnout is we think we can do more than we can really do. And we can say, oh, this is going to be really quick, or I can get this done. And
Yeah.
in actuality, it takes way longer than you think it's going to take in most cases. So I think just having a plan, and the way I got burnt out was like, just I stopped going to the gym. Well, obviously because COVID.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I just made it a point. Like I bought a Peloton. I bought like some weights to to lift up my place, and just kind of getting back into like things outside of filming. I think that's a big thing. It's like people I feel like are burnt out because they're getting away from like their everyday life, and they're being disconnected from their friends and their family. So that's one thing. Like if ever I feel burnt out, I just like call somebody now. Whereas like before, I felt like I had to like deal with it myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Be like, you know, and I think that's a lot of it. You feel alone, right? You feel like, oh man, like I got to do this project, and like it's just too much for me to handle, and nobody understands. So I think just you know, reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with family, especially like during this time, even
Yeah.
if it's just a Zoom call, it's just huge. I think with combating burnout.
Yeah, and there's some good comments in the chat too. It says Brandon feels like you streamed a lot less in 2020. Missed your face in chatting, says Mega Sean.
Yeah, so that was another thing is like I was trying to do everything. Like I was trying to stream, I was trying to make videos, I was trying to
It's
you know,
tough, man.
yeah, and like, you know, I got like DMs, I got companies, I got emails, I got, you know, and so it's like it felt like I was going along with like everybody else's plan for my life instead of
Except your own,
what
right?
I wanted to do,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So people would be like, "Oh, you need to stream." Well, it's like, well, I can either stream or I can, you know, focus more on like, or I can go for a walk, or I can go for a run or something, or I can, you know, focus on like how I can make my YouTube videos better. So last year, I kind of felt like my YouTube quality slipped, and because I was streaming, I enjoy streaming a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, maybe even sometimes more than making videos, but I think you kind of have to balance everything and like realize like, okay, like I built up this YouTube following, and if I kind of go back on that and go like strictly on Twitch, or like giving up video time for Twitch, it kind of like stunts your growth in a way.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I remember even when you were like wanting to play video games, you're like, well, it's got to be content. Like everything's content.
Yes, exactly. So
Which,
that's
by
why
the way, I just downloaded Apex again. I'm just saying.
nice. No, dude, you gotta get on Valorant now. We're on Valorant.
All right.
I've been playing a little bit of Valorant here and there.
Dude,
I don't
we gotta
mind
have
it.
you.
And
What's your Valorant rank, by the way, BT?
I think I'm only like plat 1, so I don't really get. So that's another thing is like I don't really get to play that much, and like that's another thing too where I can get carried away with gaming because I'm really competitive. I'm just a competitive person, so I'll spend hours like playing. If I lose, I'll keep playing. So like that's another thing where I had to be like, all right, I need to just like limit myself and just, you know, always be filming something or film for a reason. So
I had to cut myself off from Valorant after, I think they do it by chapters, I think, or something like that, right?
yeah.
After the first chapter, I had to cut myself off because I was like, this game, it literally requires you to like play it on a daily basis to stay good. Like you have to maintain your aim and everything in it.
No, dude.
I hit diamond in the first chapter, and I was
Yeah.
like, I can't maintain this. Like this isn't
Chase,
realistic.
I'm telling you, because Gringo just brought it up in chat. For me, that game was Tarkov. Like I was just on that for like I think last summer. I was just on Tarkov.
What?
I was so into it. It was such a fun game, and then I realized how much time I was putting into it. Because you want to get like the best gear.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, okay, this is too much now. Like I gotta take a step back.
He meant right before he said Tarkov, he mentioned CS:GO, and CS:GO my freshman year of college, I played so many hours of CS:GO and gambled a lot of money on CS:GO matches. But I think within my first 2 years of college, I put like 1,500 hours into CS:GO. It was something crazy like that. Like that game, that was another one I was like, I have to stop playing this game because it's again, it's one of those things like if you put it down for like a week and then come back, you've lost progress. You're not as good as you were a week before, and it's really upsetting.
Oh my gosh, this is why I haven't played games in a while. This is why I play Phasmophobia from time to time, and that's it.
Yeah. But to answer some more questions too, yes, actually, Brandon does all this and has a day job. So that's like insane. I mean, like I have a day job as well, but Brandon does like double the amount of stuff afterwards, which is just insane to me. So Brandon is God tier, 110%. Once you stop going to the gym, it's hard to go back. But if you go regularly every day, it's a routine. I agree with that. Negative COVID gains are real. Lost 20 pounds over COVID. Now I missed the slight swole I had. I've seen a lot of people like literally lose all the muscles they've gained and all their gains just because COVID. And it's like, it makes them super sad. And I feel so bad for them too.
See, I already got COVID out of the way, so I just started going to the gym again.
So. Reagan, yeah, COVID? Oh, damn, where's my mask?
Yeah, put that thing on.
I'm clean.
Gringo, I will definitely play Tarkov with you one day, my dude. I want to get back into it so badly, but I don't know. Gotta figure out the routine, you know?
So, Alex, have you thought about going full-time?
I mean, I have. To be completely honest, I think I've been struggling with the idea of stopping to go to work and doing this full-time because it is very scary, because there's no guaranteed income, you know, and if it is, it's very small, and living costs in Toronto are quite high, you know, definitely not as much as something like California or LA or anything like that, but it is quite high here in Toronto. So it's at the current point in time, it is not, or New York, yes, Jozo, it is not quite possible, but I'm sure if I did go full time, I would definitely have that extra, 8 hours a day to do things. However, I think I would probably want to ease into that,
Listen, man, I got 400 megs down and a guest bedroom. What's up?
How many up though?
enough, man. Have you ever? I've never had stream problems, so
we've got good internet in Texas.
That's a start for Alex.
There you go. There you go.
You can take the room that Clavier was gonna take. He was gonna come, but then he found out he can't travel from Europe. He's gonna be my roommate.
Good internet and good friends. What more could you ask for, Alex?
There you go. I like
exactly. Good room with Quinn.
I'm in.
Quinn's probably sitting cringe.
Insane here.
What happened?
Price-wise, so.
Do what?
What was that?
What did you say?
I was saying like here in like the Bay Area in SF, it's so expensive here. Like, so I'm in kind of the same boat as you. It's like the cost of living here is so high that like going full time like scares me.
You know? It's tough, dude. It's tough, right? Because I was about to ask you the same question. Because you're not technically. I mean, like you might be considered full time because you do enough of it per week.
Yeah, he works 2 full-time jobs.
But would you ever consider this being your primary and nothing else?
Yeah, so I'm considering it. My aim is for like June this year.
Ooh.
Like once my company starts making us go back, like maybe like full time, like being on site, like full time, then maybe I'll start thinking about it. Because right now, like working from home and like I get to kind of dabble and still film here and there, like probably more than I would be if I had to actually like, drive to work. Mm-hmm. If I'm just thinking like if I didn't have that this past year, I would have been like swamped. Like there's no way I could have survived 2020. So I only see it getting worse this year. Like my inbox is already like full of stuff. So if I can just like, right now it's like the building stage for me, building up to like going full time. So yeah.
I mean, it's definitely scary too, right? Because you cut out, because at the end of the day, like you cut out, first of all, something that you might enjoy doing, then you cut out a source of income, and then you really have to rely and really bet on yourself. I know that's something that Reagan, I'm pointing in the wrong direction, Reagan did last year in January, was it? It has been a full year since you quit your job, right, Reagan?
Yes.
Congratulations.
1 year.
1 year.
Congrats. Yeah, so Reagan, can you tell us your experience? Like, what was it like that first month? Unemployment.
No unemployment.
I mean,
no
unemployment, but you're. I mean, like,
not being
you're
employed anymore.
Yourself,
not
like not
being employed.
Like, I'm over exaggerating, but unemployment.
Yeah, it was actually extremely emotional because I loved my job and nothing really held a candlelight to it before I started doing this, and then the idea of possibly being able to do this full time popped into my head, and then all of a sudden the idea of my old job was kind of dismal, and it became like, I don't know, I was really nervous to do it. I ended up sending an email to all my bosses on January 1 at like 11 a.m. of 2020, and I was like, this is my notice. And it was a bit of a risk, and there wasn't really any assurances at that time. I just knew that I needed to dedicate more time to it, but it was super scary, but I don't look back at all, so super happy.
So
I remember at that time, I remember how torn you were because you saw your bosses as like good friends of yours who had really helped progress you as a person and professionally. And like you said, you didn't have any problems. It was just you had the opportunity to build something for yourself, and it was just a matter of, do you take it or not? And ultimately, I think you probably made the right decision as of a year from now, where things have grown to.
Yeah. I am. I'm glad I did it. It was super scary. It was super scary, but I try to encourage Alex to find ways, to like also jump into content creation full time. I think that like everyone should take some scary risks.
Well, that's the thing. Like, risks are literally scary. Like, they're tough for some people because sometimes it can mean betting it all, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
At some point though, it's just like, forget it. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Make it
Like
work.
everybody that I've talked to that's gone full time, like Reagan, I've talked to like Dixie Mac, I've talked to Bad Seed, and everybody says like, yes, like that was the best decision of my life, And so it's one of those things where you keep hearing it and you're like, damn, like when's it gonna be my turn? Even like Teja, I've talked to Teja about it, like, and it's just like, when is it gonna be me? So
there's no right time ever.
yeah, but that's what it feels like. It's like, oh man, like when is that right time? Do you just like jump in, like throw yourself into the pool, the deep end, and just learn how to swim?
You have to convince yourself to like not do it because you're like, all right, I want to do it. I'm willing to work 40 extra hours a week at content creation or whatever, and if I don't have my job, and it's like, I don't know, nothing in my own control is gonna like let me fail. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know, I work like 24/7 at this stuff. So
someone actually said, oh, sorry, go on, Chase.
Oh, okay. So this is kind of a question I have for Alex and for BT, and it's kind of like a weird question that may not apply to a lot of people listening, but it's something I was kind of wondering. So what keeps you guys streaming live content on Twitch and not on YouTube?
That's
because
a great
the audience
question.
on YouTube for live streaming in general, especially like content like this, is much larger. And like, so for Alex, I'm interested because Alex has built I understand part of Alex's answer is going to be, I've built a community on this platform. Where with BT, your community is primarily already on YouTube. So what keeps you from using that platform as your live streaming platform?
That's a great question. Yeah. BT, would you like to answer first? Whether I can agree with you.
Perfect. So I guess for me, like my goal was to kind of diversify. So like I didn't want to put all my eggs into one basket, even though the basket in YouTube is bigger. I still wanted to have like multiple sources of income. Like later on, if something happens to YouTube, crashes, goes down, like you have Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Or, like people know where to find me, right? So it's I've thought about doing YouTube. I might try a stream this year on YouTube. But I've heard like some funky things, like it messes with your channel when you do stream on there, and like like it messes with like who sees your videos and stuff like that. So you don't want to mess with the YouTube algorithm.
So is that why people will create like live stream channels basically on YouTube for themselves? Okay.
Weird.
So,
and some people are asking, like simultaneously cast. It's actually against TOS, I believe. If you're a partner, you cannot.
Yeah, if you're partnered on either one,
you cannot simultaneously cast. I'm under that impression, but I have seen people do that. So
Like, what if you did an A day and a B day with 2 different platform streams, and then
as
just switch to
far
the
as I
one?
know, like what Unstable just said, Twitch partners technically cannot stream on other platforms. That's far what I know. But again, I've seen that happen. Take it for what it is. So
Yeah. I just thought it was like, I know recently there's been a lot of numbers coming out, and specifically like gaming content is something you think Twitch is, you know, seemingly like Twitch is where you go to watch live streamed video game content, but the numbers for video game content watched on YouTube via live stream, like, makes it like Twitch is like a fraction of the number that YouTube gets. It's insane.
the one
I mean, a
thing
lot of it is like Minecraft stuff and Roblox stuff on YouTube. Like, it is a lot of like younger kids because they have access to YouTube earlier than like they would have access to Twitch. But like, it's really interesting to see the numbers for live streaming on YouTube. And again, it's just something that I've been wondering, so I wanted to ask.
Yeah, like the one thing I will say is like what YouTube does really well, obviously, is organize their content. Twitch needs to do that. Twitch's content organization and finding new people, like suggested new people, is trash. Like, even sorting through clips, like even on my own goddamn channel, is trash. Like, it's terrible. Really the only hierarchy they have for that is sort, highest to lowest, or recent. But it's so tough, and like even finding other people's stuff is trash. YouTube does it a lot better. And one thing that YouTube does that I really like is after you're done watching a video. So if you're done watching, I don't know, chat, a Fortnite video, okay? If you're done watching a Fortnite video and someone's live streaming, like, I don't know, Courage JD is live streaming, it'll actually suggest you to go watch his live stream after you're done watching a video. So it's a pretty cool system. However, like BT said, I'm not sure the way it affects channels. Plus, to be honest, I think more people still turn to a dedicated service. It's still new too, right? So, but we have seen people make the move. But for like keyboards and stuff, I think most keyboard streamers are on Twitch. So it kind of just doesn't make sense to move when we can all interact here. That's my thing with it.
You can like host people and
Yeah.
There's always that aspect too.
Yeah,
Maybe someone just needs to be like the front runner, like the trendsetter of keyboard content creation on YouTube. Like, I don't know, why don't you just add a day to streaming and make it for YouTube? Or
I can't.
Oh, well, you're a partner, so you can't. Yeah.
So
I mean, all it takes is YouTube coming in and offering somebody a contract.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm
That's
nowhere near that.
all it takes.
Nowhere near that type of level yet, but I don't know. I just feel like the community's here already for keyboards anyway. It's on Twitch, and YouTube is where you go watch the sound tests and like VODs afterwards. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think someone was also asking you if you'd ever make fitness content, Brandon.
I used to. I mean, that's how I started off on YouTube, is making fitness stuff. And that's one of the things that I want to do when I go full time. I don't know if that's just adding on too much, but I want to make like a vlog channel, just like showing my day and like working out, all the like stuff that won't go on the tech channel. Because I used to do it for a little bit. I used to like dabble. I used to put like both for a little bit, and then it would be like thousands of views, 20 views, thousands, and so I think the algorithm and like people just not watching it just kind of like buried it. So
this is a weird thing to say about that, but I would love to see stuff like that from you on your Instagram stories, because there's something about, I don't know what it is about like the people within the, like, I'd say like computer, like gaming community, I guess, like the people who are looking at not just computer peripherals and everything, but also like gaming. Like whenever you see somebody that you respect getting out and working out, it does kind of make you think like, oh shit, maybe I should be doing that too. And it does really hit home for a lot of people. And I think you're a pretty well-established authority and figure that I think you can inspire quite a few people in that regard.
It's true. I never thought about that. Yeah.
That's actually a really good point. Because like
Also,
I'll be honest, doing keyboard content, sorry to interrupt, Reagan, doing keyboard content too, it's like I love building keyboards and stuff, but I really do feel like, and we were talking about this before the stream started, guys, which is in chat, I want to know too, how long does it take you guys to do switches and lube them and mod them? It takes me a long time, because first of all, I get distracted to all hell and back. And then if I do it on stream, I do like 4 because I'm talking to you guys, which is a great thing. I love that. But that takes up a huge part of my day. Thurman says all day, every day.
Switches are like.
But I do forget to do things like move around a little bit sometimes and go outside because I'm lubing switches or doing work for the other stuff that I like outside of my day job. So yeah, I can definitely feel that.
Yeah, I'd be definitely down to do some stuff like that on Instagram. It's definitely doable because I mean, all it takes is just me pulling out my phone while I'm working out.
Listen, man, I need a workout split.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll try it this week. I'll see like what the engagement is like.
And I mean, I've been seeing it from a lot, and that's the thing. Like a lot of like streamers, a lot of video game streamers, I've noticed have been getting on. I mean, since they've been stuck inside, have been getting on a health kick, building up their own in-home gyms and stuff like that. Since then, they can do everything that they want to do from at home. Basically, they can work out, and so I don't know. It's been inspired. I've been inspired by a lot of the people I've seen, kind of sharing what they're doing and just kind of holding themselves accountable by posting, like themselves on the treadmill every day. That's a way to hold themselves accountable to their audience. And also some people in their audience are like, I'll tag along with them and also go on this little journey, I guess. So it's really cool.
I have another question for you just because I read his name and I want to know. Well, I read MX Brown switches and now I'm like, okay, Glarses. What's your favorite Glarses video that's come out recently? If you've been watching them.
I actually haven't watched any recently.
I think he hasn't really posted a whole lot recently, though.
Yeah, he posted like
one recently, I think.
Yeah, like one.
I
can't remember what it was. I watched so much content.
It was good.
I actually have not watched that one. Just don't spoil it yet, but I haven't yet sat down to watch it.
It was the one. I think it had like a switch. It was like in the middle of the frame. I forgot what the thumbnail was.
Let's see. I'm gonna go find it.
Let me see what it was.
Was that the thumbnail you're talking about?
Yeah, it was like.
Okay, that was his. Yeah, what Cherry MX Brown should have been.
Yeah. That one. Yeah,
Clear's review.
Oh, that was the most recent one. Yeah.
It's a good video.
Oh wow, his last video prior to that was 4 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yes.
I really. Oh no.
There's the bro Matt Reagan.
The bro Matt.
I think that's another good point too. I feel like his content, and I feel like YouTuber content in general was such like a nice, obviously with the exception of Teja, because Teja's been doing YouTube. I think Teja, Wildcat, and some other people, like having more of like the mainstream tech guys, like yourself, Frank, Bad Seed, kind of get into keyboards has definitely helped the hobby a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely shown people something that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise seen. New audiences, new people getting into the hobby, which has been really, really cool. I know for me, like YouTube is probably one of the reasons I got into the hobby. Mind you, I don't go on YouTube as much anymore, and I'll be honest with you, I really don't. Other than to watch the established list of people that I have. Like I haven't added really anyone new. I think the most recent addition is probably Glarses. But it's really just like yourself, Bad Seed, Teja, Wildcat, and some of the other guys that I normally watch. Frank. Teja's YouTube. Teja does his oh god, what's it called?
His occasional like tutorial videos.
Tutorial
like his
video
stabilizers ones that he did.
Yeah, and what is it called? The vlogs. He does those too.
Yep.
Tay does a
like
lot
the
of cool
vlogs.
stuff. Yeah, Tay does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I like take keywords a lot.
Yeah, and I think like stuff like that. And I guess my question to you is, do you plan on doing any more like keyboard focused content that maybe isn't like a build or review?
Yeah, so I'm planning on doing like a big like tactile switch comparison, linear switch comparison. So like just like a no holds bar like kind of thing. Just giving my opinion on like switches, because I get asked all the time like top 5 this, top 5 that, best switch for gaming. So that's definitely in the works, but it just takes so much time to like lube everything, and then like you know how it is, like, so with that video, it's like I have to film it in parts because I have to hot swap the switches, or take off the keycaps, hot swap the switches, put in the new switches, put on the new put the keycaps back on, do the type test, take that off, take the switches out, take the keycaps off, take the switches off, put it like, and if you do that for you have to do like I don't know how many. I'm hoping to put like maybe like 10 tactile switches on there. So it's just like a lot of work, and like people are just gonna look at it and be like, oh well, you know, like I don't think people understand like how much work it takes just to like make
Oh, it's
content
tons. Yeah.
sometimes. Like even that just takes so much out of you, you know. So yeah, definitely this year I want to do like I have so many builds coming up, and I want to do more like modding stuff this year, like how you can improve your keyboard that you already have. So that's like another thing, and I think just like just exposing people to like keyboards. I think the more people get exposed to it, the more common it feels, the easier it feels to build too, right? So if I'm
Yeah.
releasing a lot of keyboard content, I'm like, hey, this is easy, this is easy, this is easy. E- Eventually, people are gonna be like, all right, it's time to build, So
Well, and there definitely is that still that I have even some people on the daily who watch and still don't like they don't own a custom, and it's totally fine. And a lot of it comes down to maybe they're a little bit nervous to start lubing their
yeah,
own switches. A lot of people still find it very nerve-wracking to solder, which
Yeah.
I can definitely understand. I definitely can understand that it's nerve-wracking to solder.
yeah.
You
So
know,
that's another video I have coming out. That's like a solder video. That's gonna be coming out. I'm doing like a fun take on it.
Please
So
do.
expect that soon.
I really think the keyboard hobby, like especially the YouTube content portion of it, needs more fun videos, kind of like what Glarsis
Yeah.
is doing. Because honestly, like I feel the rest, like I try not to be super serious during stream. That's why I do like a lot of stupid stories and like day-to-day things. But I feel like a lot of it just gets like very, and it's not a bad thing. Like it's very professional. It's very like A to B to C type thing, and I love the whole like comedy take on our daily routines. It doesn't have to be like making fun of a keyboard or anything. It just be added comedy in between. Obviously I think Glarsis is the end of that spectrum where it's like a lot of comedy, but I think there's like room for a lot of middle ground.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to get away from this past year was like I was making scripts and like just like, saying what's on the script, and it just got really another thing with burnout is like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. There's no novelty to it. So like what I made a point of is like I threw away the scripts this year and I've just been doing bullet points and just going off the top of my head. Whatever comes out, comes out. And the response from it has been like way better than like me trying
Totally.
to like say everything perfectly and get every single detail in there. It's more of like, hey, is this relatable? Right. That's like another part of it is like it's just not me up here singing, hey guys, today we're gonna be building a keyboard. So,
Yeah, I agree with
A little
that.
more
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah. So it's just like this year I've just kind of taken the thing of like it doesn't need to be perfect. Like I want to make it imperfect this year and be more relatable that way.
So Steady says one thing I love about Alex and BT is how different their content is from each other. Like the group buy reviews that Alex does and the style that BT does in his Switch reviews. I think that there's a beauty in a lot of people's content that's just different, and there obviously are people who might look up to someone else and take aspects of that. And I think I've mentioned this too. I think with art, there's a lot of, because I consider content creation like a form of art, form of creativity. You tend to take someone else's, not formula, but you might be like, I'm very inspired by this person. Let me do what they do. And if you're able to take that and then spin it to make it your own, and there's tons of people who don't look at other people. There's tons of people who just be like, this is what I want to do. I just want to start doing this. And it's a lot of really fun things. Like it can be a lot of fun stuff. And that's like the joy of content creation. Like it's very hard to say and explain, but it's really fun. And I appreciate that comment. Thank you very much, Steady. One video I've been dying to see is a budget board battle.
Yeah.
I think we're still waiting for those to come out though, Rusty. I'm totally with you. Like I'm lucky enough to have 2 of them here, but I don't have, all the budget boards. Like there's
Read the rest of that
D65.
comment because it's interesting. Read the rest
take
of that comment.
take 3 to 5 streamers and YouTubers and see who can build the best key for $50 to $100. That's actually interesting. That'd be pretty cool. That would definitely be pretty cool. This year is the year with the budgets. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see everything probably get delivered this year for budgets for sure. BT, I noticed that too about your dialogue. The editing recently feels like it's getting a tad fast in comparison to your chill personality. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's more just because it's coming out naturally. It's like how I would talk in like real life instead of like trying to make sure I'm watching all my words and stuff. I'm just like, just like pretending somebody's just in front of me and I'm explaining, you know.
No more teleprompter.
Yeah, so no
Brandon.
more, so no more like, writing everything out for like, 2-3 page script. Like, I got rid of all that. I'm just like, like this is my personalized content, kind of like what Alex is saying. Like, it's personal. Like, you watch, people watch Alex, people watch me, people watch Teha. Like, it's supposed to be different. Like,
Yeah.
we're all
It doesn't need
supposed
to be overthought. Sometimes a gut reaction is what people want from you.
exactly, and it's more real, it's more trustworthy than like, oh, you chose what you're gonna say about this, this exquisite, like, you're using like all these like big words. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Oh, you
totally.
need all their points they wanted you to hit on, or something like.
Well, I think that's a huge amount of growth in a way, because like once you're like, okay, I'm comfortable with being me now, that's a huge amount of growth. BT going from oh yeah to oh yeah, yeah, there's that.
And so and like, so touching on that point, we kind of talked about this before, but like, I think a part of that, this new style comes with like rawness of like, I'm gonna say things that companies don't like, all right, and like, I'm making it a point this year to like, especially just say like what's on my mind, and it is what it is. Like, and some companies some companies are like really cool about it. Like, some companies will like be like, yeah, we heard what you said, and and we really like that. We're going to take this feedback, we're going to make the product better. And I really, really respect those companies. I know those companies are going to be around for a long time. And then there's the switches that ghost me, right? Or what did I say? The companies that ghost me. If you guys get what I just said, I'm not gonna name names, but I'm getting ghosted because of things that I'm saying. So it's one of those things where like, I don't want to like. Normally, I wouldn't put out videos where I say bad stuff. Even I would just be like, oh, I just don't like the product. Like, I'm just not even gonna put out a video. But this year, I want to make a point to like somebody said, save them some money, as well, because I feel like that's my duty as well to say, these suck,
and I think that's the biggest thing. That's what, like at the end of the day, that's what influencers, that's what people who review or take a first look at a product are supposed to do, right? Like I did a board. It didn't cost me a whole lot. It wasn't an expensive board. It was basically a wooden resin board. It looks gorgeous, and it's by Hotocrafts. He's new to the scene. He's building these wooden in resin boards. They're beautiful looking, and I built it on New Year's. And I don't really hold back with my reviews. And I built it, and there was tons of like little inconsistencies that made it almost impossible to build. I actually had to go and file down parts of it to get it to fit. And it was one of those things where it's like, hey, if you're comfortable with doing all this extra stuff to get it to barely work, then go for it. It wasn't a huge expensive product. Was it worth the money? That's up to you. Here's the facts. And I got and like what you said, and this is what the point I want to touch upon. He emailed me right after that stream. He was like, I heard you, and I'm gonna fix every single problem.
Oh, good for him. Damn.
Yeah.
And apparently he did. He has like his V2 cases already done. Because one of the things was like the resin was warped on some areas, and then like it wasn't aligned properly. I think he was using like an old PCB. He didn't realize there was like a new one that came out for something that he recommended. So he fixed a whole bunch of stuff, and I've been seeing a few people build those boards, and they're pretty. Like, they're very pretty cases, and they didn't sound awful either. So it's cool because like you get to see like how you influence something in a way. But then you get those companies that just like literally will be like, nah, fuck you. I don't like I don't want to deal with you now. And it's just it's stupid. It's just like, well, why did you ask me for a review then?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Like, what did you expect was gonna happen?
Just want a praise video.
Yeah,
I know. That's the truth. Is like, sometimes I think, especially like, they're looking for a promo. Like a lot of what we do is like showing off a board that helps the company. Like, we have a lot of power. Like, I think Batsy said before, like, we are the new like advertisement for these companies. Like, there's no glorious freaking commercial. There's no there's no Iron 165 commercial. Like, the word gets out because of the content creators. Like, if we say it's good or bad, like, that goes a long way, and that's worth a lot. And like I think a lot of times like creators devalue themselves or don't put the correct number on themselves because like we hold a lot of power within the community to say like this is good or this is bad, and it comes with a responsibility too. Like if I say something bad or Alex says something bad, you guys go buy it, how does that make us look? And companies don't realize that like we worked years on this, and you want me to throw away my reputation for your crappy product? Like it's not happening.
You also have creators who are afraid to say things because they don't want to ruin relationships with companies as well. There's that opposite end of things, sadly. And I think more people are starting to understand that doesn't do the industry, the scene, the community. It doesn't do the community any good at all. If you're just letting companies get away with things, really is what it ends up being.
And I want to touch upon that too, Chase, because this is the platform I see that happen on most is Instagram. And to anyone who is becoming like, and again, I don't mean to be mean. This is not supposed to be that. This is constructive, especially like the battle station Instagrammers. It's just like product after product. They just receive it as instantly shill. Oh, nothing but nice things to say. But it's like, but what do you? It's like, go buy this product. And like they gave it to me for free. Here's like an LED backpack or something. But like what? Like what is the review there? There's nothing. There's no content to that. It's just you're posting a photo. And I get it. Like that's
station community.
Well, that's what it is. Like that's me being honest, right? Like in my constructive criticism there is just take a step back and actually think about it, because a lot of them they really hit this plateau and they don't grow. And then they wonder why. So because it's not really content, it's just advertisements. And nobody wants that anymore. People want, like when, for example, when the Glorious Keyboard came out, the first thing people were asking is, can we get a review on this? Is this good?
Yeah.
Who's going to show is this?
And you put this in the hands of somebody we trust to get their opinion on things.
Yeah.
So that we can know if this is something we should buy. Yeah.
Well, I saw, and they were linking all of us. Like they were like Batsy, Alex, Taya, like they were linking everyone.
I haven't received one yet. So
I thought, but I mean, I think I know you got tagged.
I think we're supposed to
in the community tag.
People in the community were asking for you.
Yeah, because they can't like. I think we were supposed to get them earlier in January.
Yeah, I thought I was supposed to get one.
Oh, did I freeze? Uh-oh. Guys, are we live for you guys, or did Discord crash? Is it just me? Am I still alive? No? Am I still here, gentlemen? Am I still here? I'm live, but they're not? Maybe Discord crashed. 1 second. Let me restart Discord. Are we back? That's weird.
Is that Alex's internet again?
No, that's not internet. It was just Discord. It crashed.
Looked like a weird drop.
Yeah. Weird drop. I didn't even do anything. I just literally minimized and opened it again. Weird.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing tonight?
We're doing good. What were you saying though, Brandon? I think we left off with you.
I don't know what's the last thing.
I think we're leaving off at like we were supposed to get them in January.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to get them out in January. I don't know what's happening with that. I'm assuming they're getting feedback. I would love to like get them feedback or give them feedback before they actually like release them, or like maybe there's like a quick change. That's what I would hope that would happen. I don't know if that is going to happen at this point because it seems like so far along in the process. But I think I would have loved for like all of us to get it and to have some feedback for them before the final version of it comes out.
I'm a huge fan of companies shipping out prototypes before final production units go out, and getting those prototypes, even if it is a prototype that isn't final. If they're, I mean, I know that's kind of a shady thing. Like I know Alex doesn't like getting prototypes that aren't like what the consumer is going to get, but I mean, if you're sending it out specifically asking for, hey, what's wrong with this, or find the flaws for me so we don't have them in production, like I think that's one thing, and I think that would it would be nice to see more of.
And to touch upon that, Chase, the thing that I hate is not hate. I just it just irks me is like when I get sent a proto or when someone talks to me about a proto and then goes, so you're getting this, and then the sale's hitting literally like as you do this. And it's kind of just like, well, where does that leave the room for fixing things?
Yeah.
And I don't mean like a group buy. The group buy things are different because you can always fix those, but it's usually the in-stock stuff. And I'm just like, I turn down a lot of it too. Like I turn down a lot of that stuff. And you know, like I'll be honest, the majority of companies that sent out protos, most of them have fixed what they said they were going to fix. Gray Studios is huge for that. You know, like I have to really give props to Gray Studios. They did a lot of stuff. Like, mind you, it's very minor things because they have experience with this kind of stuff too. But they listen. You know, they've changed most of what they said they were going to do. So that's always fun. It's always nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it's shady when companies do it that way? Like, let's say there's not that kind of no feedback before the board even comes out, or
I think they're just risking it at that point.
like
They are risking
Yeah.
it.
I feel like that's like
I don't know
for
if
example,
it's shady versus just not
risky. Yeah.
the smartest thing to do.
It's like if Logitech was to release like a mouse and not give it to anybody and just like release it. Like it might sell, but it also could be crappy and they'll never know because no one's reviewed it. And then the reviews come in. I think it's weirder when, not weirder. I think it's just a little bit kind of like, when you're hand holding, for example. So for example, if like Logitech came, I'm just using Logitech as an example. I have no affiliation with Logitech, guys. If Logitech was to like release an MX Master 4, which by the way, please do, and fix this terrible coating on it that rubs off in two minutes. If Logitech were to release this and then like bring on someone and then be like, well, did you see this? Yeah, you saw that. What do you think about? And it's like hand holding and very like prompted answers and questions instead of allowing someone to like privately look at something. So I agree with what Jack says completely. That's what I was. I don't know if you heard earlier, Jax. I think pros should be sent to private parties. Production samples should be sent to streamers. But before the full production run, companies should be letting their manufacturers know that they're what they're doing, so they don't go full on without making changes. I agree with that. That's exactly what I was saying before too. Before this conversation, even I think there needs to be like stuff before sales. This is when we were talking about the GMMK stuff. It needs to be done.
Ideally, yeah, that's how it should go.
I shouldn't have to spend my money and then get a review like a month after I've spent my money. Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I know last time we touched. I just want to touch on, make sure we touch on this because
Go
last
for
time
it.
we touched on it is the copycatting, the copycat switches, the copycat Alex Otos desk mats that we've been seeing. Where do we draw the line? We're getting spicy. Where do we draw the line, Alex?
Draw the line. What do you mean?
Like last time, what I told you is I saw a desk mat and I was like, oh, Alex has a new collab. Turns out your name was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, the name was nowhere to be found.
I think in the realm
saying.
of art, if someone's basing like their art off someone else, and it's like it's still its own piece of art,
Loosely,
then I mean like it's really hard to argue that, like really hard, because there's no way to ever, you know.
if
I
it's
think in
loosely.
someone's head they'll be like, that kind of looks like something that someone else did type thing. But I mean, if there's clear indications that there's like copying going on, then yeah, it's easy. Like there's tons of problems, I think, even in the artisan community, like months and months and months back, with copycats, with clones. You know, we're seeing tons of like full on clones and ripoffs. I think is it off AliExpress? Is that where most of them is happening?
yeah,
It's like keycap sets, like GMK keycap sets, but not GMK, obviously. You know,
Yep.
so it's just, I think there's definitely that whole like, okay, well, the original artist is literally not even getting credit, which I mean they should get paid for that too, because like here's the thing, and I know I've explained this. If you want your artist to continue making fun stuff, because I've seen this argument, why would you not support the artist? What incentive do they have for continuing to make things for a community if they're not even getting recognized or paid for those things? They have no incentive anymore. So at the end of the day, you're only hurting your own like drive to do things, like, or not drive to do things. You're hurting your own community that you want to buy from. Like if you want keyboard stuff and you want new things from like, I don't know, Zambamon, let's just for example, and you're buying rip-off Serica, then I mean like what incentive does Zambu have to do to make things for the community anymore, unless he's strictly only doing it for himself, which, you know, like he needs to put food on the table too.
food on the table.
Like I keep seeing this argument of, the group buys over,
I've been seeing
and
that. Dude. It's so
now,
stupid.
like, and it's cheaper. I can't afford the other one, so, and these are available right now in stock, and this is what I want. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
So don't participate.
We've
Yeah,
had this
simple as that.
conversation a few times now, specifically about keycaps, and I think like I think we've even had some people in chat say things along the lines of like, some of us can't afford GMK keycaps, basically, even in group buy, and they're like, why would I not spend $20 to $30 on AliExpress for the same colors? And
the thing is, it's like the most that we could do is continue to be like, hey, this is shitty, please don't do this. But it's really tough because there's always gonna be that guy who literally does not give a flying fuck about
You
supporting.
just gotta make fun of the people. That's all
No,
gotta do.
you don't have to make fun of them. Like that's the last thing you want to do. But
Not in a not like that. Like it's just messed up.
make a meme out of it, sure. But like,
Just buy another colorway.
yeah, like the thing is, I think a lot of people like they were never gonna support the person anyways, and you can't stop them, and it sucks. But the thing is, we can still make a point of saying, hey guys, like, if you have a friend who does that, let them know that you're actually hurting someone by doing so. And I get that
So,
maybe
Alex-
you won't be able
Alex,
to
would-
afford something. Go on, sorry.
Alex, would you be discouraged from making stuff if people were like, let's say you release a desk mat, and then a month later somebody releases it for half off. It's the exact same copy of what you did. Do you feel discouraged at that point?
Yeah, I would not.
Like, do you feel like
At that point there, from like a business standpoint, and even if a creative standpoint, I would probably just go, okay, I just won't do one of these things again. I'm just gonna do them for
submit
me.
defeat.
Yeah. Like it's just one of those things. Like I would never do it again. Like there's a lot of artists who probably feel the same way. It's just like, what's the point? If it's just gonna get ripped off immediately and then go half off by some other company who's gonna be, who screenshots the design and people don't care because in their mind it's, well, I don't have the money to spend to support the original artist, and then I'll never see art from that person again. Then fine, like do your thing. Like I can't obviously stop you, but I would never do anything again. In that regards.
Alex, didn't someone like screenshot one of your desk pads like during group buy, order a one-off or something?
Yes, yeah, and I'm fortunate to have like a large enough Instagram following that everyone kind of like, shunned that company, and not in obviously a bad way, but it was like, hey, we're not probably going to buy from you. They removed it and claimed it was like a one-off, or not a one-off, some like they hadn't even started selling them yet or something. Again, I'm fortunate for that, but there's tons of people who are smaller artists who maybe go through a vendor who doesn't have that type of community support. But it's tough. Like, dude, another thing too is, Etsy artists and even Etsy, you see tons of ripoffs on Etsy.
yeah,
Tons. The artisan ripoffs, that you see on Etsy, you see like, and I think that there's like a larger discussion too. It's like even, and I'm going to bring this up. This might be touchy to some people. Is where do you draw the line with, I'll just say Sailor Moon merch that's not licensed? I get that you made it, but it's technically not. You're not really. I don't think you're supposed to. Fan art
Artisans, dude, and like artisans are a whole nother story though, because you can just straight up cast them and like you can literally resell someone's,
which we saw happen
identical
a month and a half ago. There was a huge problem with that. There was people caught doing that, and they were shunned. Like for the most part, they were shunned. I even had to ban 2 people out of my Discord because of it. So
and I guess it goes the other way too. Is like I've seen the
Sorry to interrupt you, BT. Did you see what Jax just posted? He said he's running this for $40
Wait, I have that mat on my desk.
with the faces.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about the bro mat.
coming out next month. Original new design.
Mies, thank you for the tier 3, my guy. I appreciate it.
So
I'm in the
what do you
Illustrator
get-
community. I see this stuff a few times a week. Some company steals someone's popular art and throws it on a shirt. Yeah, I mean, we see it here too. Go on,
What do
Brandon.
you guys
Sorry.
think about the GMK keycaps that like the it was like the Star Wars one where they had to get it licensed, and like I think I saw like some of like the anime ones like the Plus Ultra set, like taking colors from like something that's popular and throwing it on a keycap set? Do you think that there's a line there, or
I
Yeah,
think it depends how big the company is that they're making like the IP related content
Yeah.
about.
So I mean, like Disney stuff. There was even one recently, GMK the Child, that Marcia and I reviewed during our What's New in Keyboards,
Yes.
and it's just like it's a Star Wars set. It's clearly based on the Child, which the name is used in the Star Wars universe. Do you really think that's going to go into fruition? You know, and then even with the, we saw even the Witcher set got canceled. There was even the Blackpink set based off the, Korean band Blackpink.
Yep. Blink got canceled. White
Blink
Wolf.
got canceled. I mean, like, you're going to see this more and more as these become more lucrative, especially for bigger things. Go on, sorry,
I
Chase.
think there's a difference between something that's inspired again and using like copyrighted
Elements, yeah.
like using the name of a copyrighted figure, like you're talking about like anime figures, for instance. Like the problem is like you can base colors off of things, but as soon as you call it like this anime character, GMK, this anime character, or this show, and you use like if you're utilizing elements of that character that you don't own the copyrights to, that is copyright infringement. Like fan art, you don't sell fan art. That's why fan art isn't copyright infringement.
yeah,
You as soon as you sell it, that's where it no longer becomes legal.
Thank you, Jax, for the
Yeah,
15 gifted.
The novelties can be a big deal with sets too. It depends,
Yeah.
like if you're using. The
Well, and
iconic.
I think in some cases there's keycap sets where if they're gonna just color pick from a character, then I mean, like, I can't stop you. You're gonna do it. But if you're gonna use like straight elements and trace from that show and use things that are like iconic towards that show and not put your own spin on it, yeah, I think there's like more of a problem, you know. And yeah, there's in Mech Muller, there's definitely sets that have gotten away with it. I personally, like, I don't really know what to do because I am not in that type of law. But yeah, and like what Gawk NZ just said, don't people sell fan art all the time? Yeah, and actually some conventions, I know the anime convention here in Toronto, they don't want you to sell, like they will not let you sell Sailor Moon. They will not let you sell Sailor Moon because there's certain things that they do not want you to sell. Like even I'm going to be very interested to see how, I think there's a new set that's Sailor Moon inspired, GMK Luna, which is based off of the cat in Sailor Moon. We're going to see how that does, because that's like there's an image of Luna. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that.
But I mean, not to call any set out specifically, but I'm looking at like GMK Deku right now, which
yeah,
is
that was the one I was talking about. Yeah.
which is like literally like the
Straight up.
novelties are literally like the mask he wears in the
Like,
show.
that is like straight up.
Well, yeah, and like the name itself is that and this already ran, correct? Like this is
Yeah,
I think so. I'll be honest, I didn't really care for that set one, but
well, it's just like I mean, like I don't know. It surprises me that stuff like this goes through. I don't. Again, I'm no lawyer. I don't know much about law, but
I don't. That's the thing. Like I don't know with like permissions
I don't-
and stuff. The most I know is about like basic fan art and stuff, and like where you can draw the line with that.
yeah.
But when it comes to like color picking and like I think even just someone said, Sir Will said about iconic classic art, that beats me. I actually don't know. And I think
It's
there's a huge conversation to be had, and I'd love to bring on someone who's like familiar with law. To talk to you about this kind of stuff too, because it gets gray area. And I mean, like, guys, if you've ever shopped on Etsy for like anything fan art related, the whole thing's gray area.
So who was behind was Novel Keys behind the Star Wars like licensed keycap sets?
Yeah, they're officially licensed by Disney.
That would be a really cool conversation to have with. Is it Mike?
Yeah,
I mean, they even have the licensed Breaking Bad stuff now.
That would be a great conversation to have with them about some of those sets, because I do think that's kind of like a big question mark, because I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll design a GMK set off of my favorite character from this because it's been done, but like I don't know, it feels like that's walking a really thin line there. I'm not sure
So
I
want
feel like that could go bad.
Yeah, totally. And I want to answer 2 questions in chat really quick because they're great questions. So Jaro, we'll go with you first. Do we know if S-Craft got licensing for the Pokemon keycaps? They did, and then they said, you know what? We don't really want to follow the licensing because it's going to ruin our art, so we're just going to sell them the way we want to sell them. I don't understand that whole process, to be honest, from a legal aspect. Can they do it? Beats me. But I guess they were given like direction and they decided to not do it. They publicly said that. They said, hey, we were given licenses to do this, but we're not going to go with Nintendo's license because we want to sell our own artwork. And I guess it depends on where the country you're selling it from. I have no idea.
Yep.
So
that's also part of it.
Like I have no idea. So I don't know anything about how that works for S-Craft. All I know is that public statement was made by them for their Pokemon keycaps, and that's all I could really tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, which I thought was interesting, was Unstable says, Devil's Advocate, for those extremely popular sets that get bootlegs constantly, why not just do another run? I know GMK such has delays, but if you can give a designer my money at any time for the thing I like, I think a lot of people would also do that. I mean, I think a large part of that is, does the designer want to make another run? And if they say no, then unfortunately there's nothing you can do, unless the company has rights to do that.
Yeah. Well, and some designers do plan on doing another run. They just wait a little while before they do their second run.
Plus, there's the whole hitting MOQ and will enough people buy it, and it's, you know, there's the delays right now with GMK, because like I'm sure Brandon knows, like GMK Dracula, where's that at?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Brandon's like, fuck, that's another thing.
Like, oh wait, I'm getting that.
So there's a lot of stuff that's delayed, right? So
There's stuff that I just forget about because I'm so mad about it.
Yeah.
Where the hell is
Alex, where's GMK Future Funk?
I don't know. I actually forgot about that
That's
too.
March,
Thanks for
I
reminding me.
Okay,
Thanks.
March.
Is it
Yeah, no
March?
problem.
Who knows,
I
man?
talked to the creator, the
Okay.
designer.
I don't know. It's touchy, and I think it's very interesting conversation, and I want to thank everyone in chat for being respectful about it too.
Yeah, because we're not educated on a lot of the stuff we just talked about. But
we're just bringing it up.
I would love for somebody who is educated to educate me on that subject a little bit.
Yeah.
BT told me to get Dracula, and guess where that got me?
Sorry. I'm sorry, cartoon. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't know at the time. I just wanted you to be happy.
He'll be that much more happy when he finally gets it.
I know.
Wait, aren't they doing a Metropolis round 2? I thought they were. Am I thinking of the wrong set?
I think they are.
Yeah, I think they are famous.
I'm probably grabbing Dots round 2 as soon as that.
I think that's a set that really grew on people. When that
Dots?
first came
I
out,
don't like
I saw a lot of
Dots.
hate for it, and now like everybody wants it.
Well, it was originally an April Fool's joke.
Well, same
But
with
they
Cool
turned
Kids.
into
Wasn't
a
Cool
set.
Kids an April Fool's joke?
No, Cool Kids was announced on April Fool's, but I actually personally asked Beep about that, and he was like, "No, it was just the day that I happened to post it."
Well, I mean, it's a weird day to pick.
I know. I mean, like I asked him, and I was like, "Was Cool Kids an April Fool's joke?" He's like, "No, it was an April 1 post, is what it was."
If you go to the Novel Keys product page for GMK Dots, it says initially started as an April Fool's joke. BIP turned this into a reality with GMK Dots. This and then just talked about the set. But yeah, man, like seeing it on like some of the Rama boards and everything, I don't know, it looks pretty classy.
Wait, Sir
It's a
Will,
cool set.
Striker V2 is happening.
Yeah.
Striker
Isn't it
V2
like
is
the-
happening March 3rd.
It's pretty soon, actually.
Isn't it slightly a different color? this time around? Or am I-
No, something with the Legends or something.
You just blew Sir Wiz's mind.
Yeah. Guys, if you guys
Sir
want,
Will.
like, here's the other thing. Instead of following the companies that you guys buy things, find the designers and follow them. I'm not even kidding you. You'll get way more stuff. Like, you'll be in the know, like, so much faster than following the companies.
They also tease new sets way before they're ever announced, which is also really cool to see.
Yeah, like Zambumon, Bip, you know, like Zam Daddy. That's a good name. I need to call him that.
It's crazy how things have grown because I got Striker set off like Mech Market for like asking price for like the normal price. Now they're like $400.
Thanks, Tifa.
I know that's like the
Or Teja.
delays too, but it's like there's so much demand now for these sets that people are willing to pay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and like designers too. Like as long as you guys are supporting, you know, to finalize this convo, I guess. As long as you guys are supporting the designers, they're going to continue to make more stuff
True.
and cool things. Just, even though you might be regretful that you missed something, and maybe you're saving up now to get something, you know, something else. They could make something that's going to blow your mind next time.
Mm-hmm. So you've got
So-
Striker BT.
Nah, but I always have Metropolis.
Oh, that's a nice set, man. Yeah, it's one of those sets I regret not getting. And I had the opportunity to get it like 2 times.
Yeah, it's always nearby. This is my favorite set. Like,
Is that in the Think? Still in
yeah,
the
it's
Think?
on the Think.
Yeah.
So this is like one board that, like, I don't know about you, it doesn't sound the best. It's not like, it doesn't feel the best, but for some reason I just love this keyboard. I love the way it looks.
For me, that's the Rama M60. It doesn't. It's not like the best feeling or sounding, but it's just I love it, and it means so much to me, and it will forever have Nautilus on it, and I just never want to change it. And I use it from every now and then too. I love it. It's a great board.
I think everybody has that board like that. Just that board that just does it for you, and you don't know why. It goes against everything you stand for. But it works.
There's one board which I don't know why I still have in my collection, and I think chat knows it's the board that I just don't care for at all. Like
Stellar.
No,
What?
no, it's the Matrix Noah. I don't like that board like one bit. There's nothing about that board that I like. I think the sound of it, the feeling of it, the overcomplicated build of it wasn't very fun like to build. I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it one bit, and the fact that it sounded the way it did. I mean, Dutch, I did go in and mod it, and we made it sound pretty good, but for me to have to go do that, like to that extent, it wasn't like we added a piece of foam. We had to do tons of stuff to it. It was okay. And Matrix traditionally, like I've tried a few other Matrix boards, and they're pretty decent. And I've seen other people make Matrix boards, and they sound good. But the Noah was just yuck.
I was actually hyped for that board too, and then you told me about it, and I was like,
Yeah, I don't know. It was, if you get any other Matrix board, and Dutch, I do love modding keyboards. I love it, but again, to that extent, sir, Kimchi, what's going on, my guy? Pretty decent. I haven't actually used one for an extended period of time, Kimchi, so I can't tell you. That's why I'm just saying they're pretty decent sounding. How
Alex?
you doing, though? Yeah,
Should we ask Brandon our set questions that we ask?
Go for it. Go
Okay.
be my guest. 'Cause
Brandon.
we actually are like an hour. I forgot about the time. It's like an hour and 40 minutes in.
So, with the scene the way it is now,
okay.
what is something that you are really enjoying within the scene? What's something you feel is really good right now? And something that you think needs to be changed, or something that is not so good right now?
Something that's good in the scene. I think. Well, I guess something that's bad right now is, I guess, the delays. I guess that's really bad in the scene right now. Is like, and like the gatekeeping. That's something that I always talk about. Is like, you know, sometimes like there's this like guard that you have to get through of like people, like even if it's just like a simple question about something, it's almost like, oh, you noob, like you know, like get out of here, like this is my thing, like you know, and everybody has to start somewhere, and like I really hate that sometimes that some people do that. You know, even when I got my queue, people are like, you shouldn't have a queue, like what are you doing, like you don't even know what you're doing, like, you know, and like what keyboard, like what number keyboard is this that you built, like even I was getting that, you know. And it's like I just really liked the look of the keyboard, and I wanted it, like that's you know, that's just the bottom line. So I think sometimes that can push people away when we need to, like, in my opinion, like just bring people in and like show them the way so that they don't buy these crappy keycap sets or these copycat keycap sets or like, you know, all these desk mats and stuff. Like educate people and like help them out, you know. And then like something good is, I guess, just the variety of everything that we have right now. Like there's a good variety of like keycaps, there's a good variety of boards out, there's something for everybody. There's so many switches. I mean, most of them are JWK Reek colors, but like there's so many switches and so many things that are coming out that you can really get the board that you want. It's not just, you know, Gateron and Cherry MX anymore. It's like there's so many different variants of Switches now. So that's one thing that I really like, and hopefully this year we see more companies putting out more Switches, different kinds of Switches, and just having more variety this year just to like check out, you know.
When you say more variety too, I want to see more keycap sets that aren't just Cherry profile. I just purchased my first MT3 set that should come in next month. I'll see how I like that, but I want to try it.
MT3. Yeah, I still haven't done that yet.
I went ahead and got MT3 Susuatari, and then I have my first SA set coming in next month. But I've also messed with SA sets before, so I just want to mess around with different profiles more.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see.
MT3, man, that's the comfiest profile. I'm telling you.
Really?
Whenever I try to switch, I just can, like, when I'm gaming and stuff, I just suck when I put any other profile other than Cherry.
Really?
I think gaming, even SA for gaming, is just for me. It's awkward.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Like even MT3 is so awkward for gaming. MT3, I'm great. I'm typing on, and I feel like I type faster. But yeah, I haven't tried Cat or anything like that, or for gaming guys. So I don't know. Like I've never actually used it for a video game session. But for SA and MT3, yeah, it's awkward to play games with. I feel like I'm clumsy with my keys. And that's why I prefer Cherry, even OEM, to be honest. You know, something a bit more low. But
I started playing League of Legends over the last couple months again, and that's a game that requires you to press down your keys basically quickly to get abilities off and whatnot. And I'd been using Gat Blacks for a few months, and then I switched back to Holy Pandas, and I legitimately felt a delay in me pushing my abilities down because that actuation was really messing with my reaction time of pushing keys down. I was like, damn, this is actually going to take some getting time. Like I'm going to take time to get used to using tactiles again. It was a bizarre switch. But you said earlier, BT, after using linears for a while, and then you go back to tactiles, you're like, oh, this is interesting. It's like learning how tactiles feel again. It's kind of fun.
And then you go back to linears and you're like, oh, dang.
Wow, it's so smooth.
I'm never leaving again.
If you do that every 6 months, you're in a pretty good spot where you're never bored. That's why I don't get the people who are like die-hard linear or die-hard tactile. I don't think that'll ever be me.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Even recently, I've been really liking is lighter springs. I used to be like, you know what springs I hate, guys? Were the ones where you go and they all get actuated. Now I'm like actually kind of into that. And I'm starting to go away from the really heavy stuff because I feel like I'm less heavy-handed on my keyboards. But that also might be a posture thing. I have no idea.
Dude, I have a 35-gram tactile and linear. And
see, that's still too late for me.
Yeah,
no, it's like 35 or 40, but they feel really nice. Like it's not like a humongous difference from the 60s, but it's really nice.
Yeah, like I tried an 80-gram spring. And I was like, this is way too heavy for me now. And before it was not too bad. Because I actually have 78-gram springs in my key cult. And now I tap on that, I'm like, oh, I feel sluggish. I want to change these. 78-gram, baby. Yeah, I mean, 78-gram is okay. Like, I think that's the heaviest I can go at the moment. The heaviest. Okay, Mr. Texture. Hey, now. Brandon, I have a question for you. How do you feel about texture in foods? Like, this is it's a very important question to me.
I'm not that sensitive to it. Like, I know some people can't even eat like sushi and stuff like that. I'm not that sensitive. Like, I can eat pretty much anything as long as it's not like slimy.
Do you see the emote Space Cables is spamming,
God,
Brandon?
dude.
I'd like you to hover over it and see what that emote is
What
called.
is that thing?
It's called the tater hater. So, Brandon, just to fill you in on stuff, I don't care for the texture of guacamole or anything mushy. It's just not my thing. So I told them one time. I said, guys, I'm not really big on mashed potatoes. And suddenly they think I hate every form and variety of potato.
The
And now they
tater
just do
hater
this.
emote is so good. Who made that?
Soren did.
It's my favorite emote ever.
It's so good.
It's not that
It's
I
your
don't like,
face.
guys. It's not that I don't like the taste. It's literally the texture. It's a texture thing. It's like, do you know those people who love baby food? I cannot get behind the texture of
No.
baby food. There are people that really chat. Do you know people that eat baby food that aren't babies,
Babies?
obviously? Don't
The
say
closest thing-
babies.
Okay, the closest thing to baby food that I could think of that people might eat, it would be like applesauce. Do you not like the texture of applesauce?
No, not really.
Okay, well, there you go. Is that just apples? Yeah, yeah.
Babies, Alex. Guys, I know babies eat baby food. Oh my gosh. Thank you, guys. Brandon, this is what happens every single stream, by the way, pretty much now.
Who loves baby food?
People eat baby food. I know people like that are older that'd be like, yeah, I could use like a cup of baby food today. I don't know why they do it, but they just do.
It's the fact that they call it baby food when they're referring to it that also just makes it weird. Like,
That
yeah,
must be a
I'm
that's
thinking
gotta be a
of
Canadian
baby
thing.
food today.
Isn't it just puree? They call like, listen, I'm just calling it baby food because that's what I refer to it as.
Puree's
hanging it with
puree,
syrup?
bro. Baby food is in a little glass bottle or a plastic pouch.
All right, guys, you know what? That's enough with this.
This
Brandon,
is a
one
derailed
food
conversation.
I'd love you to try is if you do you make homemade popcorn at your place?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you melt down your own butter and stuff and put it on top?
No, I'm not a huge like butter on
Butter guy?
popcorn person. Yeah.
Do you like
Why?
caramel popcorn?
Yeah, I do.
You should try if you do melt the butter,
Uh-huh.
put a little maple syrup in there.
God.
It's actually really good.
It's PogChamp.
It's very PogChamp.
It's Canadian champ.
It's Canadian champ. There it is. Yeah, Chillin
Canadian
didn't want to
maple
hear it.
syrup. It has to be Canadian maple syrup, or
Well, I mean, it can be from any. I mean, just don't get the fake stuff. Get the real stuff. How Canadian are you? I don't know. I've lived here all my life, guys.
We're
Hopefully,
looking to
pretty
change that.
Canadian.
Are you the maple syrup plug? Or
I mean,
what?
I don't have a sponsorship or nothing, but yeah, pretty much. You guys need some maple syrup.
dealing it on the side.
Yeah. But guys, this was Brandon Taylor. Well, it's not like he's gone suddenly.
This is his last sighting.
He's gonna fade away now. This is Brandon Taylor. If you guys don't know what he does amazing YouTube videos. He's a tech YouTuber, tons of other stuff, big into fitness. You guys were commenting on how muscular he looks. Yes, he is very muscular,
Swole.
very swole. Brandon, do you have anything you want to plug at the moment before we take off here?
No, just merch coming out soon. Desk mats, this year, soon. So be on the lookout for that. Videos every week, 2 or 3 times a week, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, dude. We got a few comments to say. Can you do an all year?
Oh yeah.
One person says, I gotta hop off, but just want to say how much I appreciate you, BT. Literally rush to watch your videos as soon as you post them. Keep it up, man.
Oh, I appreciate it.
There you go.
That was a
really
real
appreciate it.
one right there.
That's a real one, dude.
You're
But thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to check out Brandon's socials, you can type in !guest. There's 2 socials there. There's a lot of socials you guys can follow, but I'm assuming his YouTube most of his socials link to it. And thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. Chase, Reagan, did you guys want to say anything while I find someone to raid?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
I'll just reiterate the thank you as
That's pretty good.
We're gonna do our normal and raid Katana as per the usual after every single Keebcast.
We love Katana.
We do love Katana.
Everyone spam the tater hater to Katana.
I think he has it on. Does he have it on sub only mode? Oh
Oh.
no, I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. It's just on. I think it's on follow. Anyways, enjoy Katana's stream. Brandon, thank you again. Chase and
As always.
Space Cables, thank you so much for attending as per the norm. You guys have a great one. Enjoy Katana's stream. Peace out.